and welcome to Zest with me, Shel, the podcast that will take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. Today, I am so excited to welcome Kamau, a global operations visionary driving impact across borders, also a mental health advocate and a champion of personal and professional growth. With over 9 years of experience supporting complex international programs, he has mastered the art of seamless coordination, operational excellence, and building empowered teams worldwide. In this episode, I am sure we will explore how his journey of optimizing workflows and empowering changemakers globally, while blending tactical mastery with heart-centered leadership, will really support our journeys and how we can create more impact in the world. From uncovering insights into the connection between high-performance systems, human potential, and mental wellness. I'm super excited to find out all he is doing, all he is creating, and where it all began. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good, Shel. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction.
You are so welcome.
so heartwarming and lovely. I'm glad to be in this podcast, and I'm sure we're going to share amazing conversations, stories.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your kind words to start with. That's really lovely of you to say, and I'm super excited you said yes and you showed up. I'm always intrigued to start with, before we get into the nitty-gritty of all that you're doing or the incredible impact in the world. I'm always intrigued by the reason or like the motivation behind why we do what we do, because there's actually, although it kind of all correlates, there's actually two different things I hear from your story and your journey, because you are super empowering globally, but with a focus on mental health, which is really important. So I would just love to know how it all began.
Well, it began from last year. I was employed in this organization. I was working there for the past 7 years. I was doing procurement and administration work. It was a good job, but over time, I started feeling restless. Started feeling like I need to do more. I need to find something that's impactful, that's giving me more peace, more purpose, more impact. So last year actually went through some episodes of depression, where I'm in a state where I'm seeing my peers, my colleagues going on well. They seem to be, having good jobs, paying really well. Their lives continuing in well. Maybe they are, getting married or having kids. So I felt like I was in this rut of comparison. Comparing myself with them, and I started feeling unworthy, depressed, and not really knowing what I have to do with my life. So I made that brave decision to quit my former employment with no fallback plan, which many people around me, my family, my close friends were like, hey, Kamau, okay, you've quit, but what's next? What's your plan? What are you going to do, and all that? But I just knew that I had to go through that painful process. And with that, I started now this year with really going before God and asking Him, I've done this, so what's your plan for me? What should I do? I started going through this journey of self-reflection, getting to know myself more and more, self-awareness, looking for what I can do. And I saw that I've always been good with inspiring and really motivating people, to be the best versions of themselves, So I started just writing articles on LinkedIn, one post here, one post there, getting a few comments here and there, a few reposts here and there. People saying, wow, you have nice content. Please don't stop writing. And I'm like, okay. So I just continued more and more. And now it's been 7-8 months later, and here we are. I've just now recently celebrated 8,000 followers on LinkedIn after being persistent and consistent and intentional, and it's amazing, and I thank God for sure.
Wow. So first of all, congratulations on your
Thank
8,000
you.
followers.
Thank you so much.
And that in itself shows your persistence as well as your likability, and that you really trusted. And if I'm right in you saying, was it 7 or 8 months you said?
Yeah, I've been 7, 8 months active on
So
LinkedIn.
you see what I just really want people to just really sit with that and see what can really happen when you follow and you are persistent and you listen to the cues and the feedback of others. So
Yeah,
really thank you first of all for sharing that. And the
thank you.
second thing I would really like to acknowledge is thank you so much for being so vulnerable and so truthful about, I know, a time in your life that is actually still very recent. Um, but from what I heard from it, and I know it's easy to comment looking back, is how incredibly resilient you are, because when you
Thank you.
break down what you actually said, you know depression, all these things, see, like the comparison, so many things so many of us think about, how many people would then be like, do you know what, I'm just gonna give up the safety, the comfort zone, and I'm just gonna throw myself out there right into the fire, if you like. But that
Yeah.
shows that you really, I feel, went inwards. You really connected and really trusted to something greater than yourself. And that's admirable, and that's why you're empowering, and that's why people feel it. Because it's not saying that we always have to go through the darkness and the fire but often in that process and that
Yeah.
transformation of really finding ourselves,
Yeah.
that's when you can be a leader and you can support others. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
wow, I think it's amazing what you've done, and I know just in that one little part, we've not even got into much of the episode. That already in itself is
Yeah.
so inspiring, and I know people will be like, if he can do it, I can do it. Yes, that is the message. Yes, yes, yes. So
Yes.
thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And
Yeah.
it makes sense how you're a mental health advocate, because like just the mindset, it's easy to say, okay, I look to God, I really focused, I saw a comment, but as we know, it's not linear, it's not as easy as that.
Yeah. True.
So in those times where you are surrounded by these companies or people, because people are in the companies essentially, how do you really, really tap back into that time and that mindset, and give them the tools and the skills or the belief to keep going and keep trusting and believing?
Well, first of all, it's not easy. It really takes a lot of self-awareness and self-reflection. So you must really know yourself, and perhaps in times where you have not healed, you might even have to seek professional help in terms of a therapist, or a counselor. So that's what I did. I did last year for a couple of months. I think I went for around 6, 7 sessions with a therapist. So I really got to know myself, got to know study my, past traumas, my childhood, my career, how I am the way I am, and with that, it helped me kind of gauge myself to kind of have ground, kind of have root on how I'm supposed to move.
Yeah.
So first is knowing yourself, like clearly knowing yourself, without the perception that people know of you, that maybe, yes, I'm an extrovert, or I am this jovial, cheerful person, but actually get to know who I am without all those outside distractions and
all the noise.
yes, exactly, all the noise. So you kind of
Everything that
sit.
people tell us we are. Actually, who
Exactly.
am I? And that's not
Yes,
easy to strip that
it's not
back. So
easy.
thank you for really sharing that.
And I think one thing also that also changed is I used to really be a drinker, be a heavy drinker of alcohol. And looking back, I didn't even want to be a drinker. Just started drinking because of peer pressure, and it's the cool thing to do this time, and what have you. So now once I even quit alcohol, is when I didn't even know myself, because most of my friends, are still drinking and partying and all that. So it really forced me to really get to know who I am without the noise, as we have said.
Yeah.
It brought so much enlightenment, and so much power to know that, okay, this is who I am without what everyone else is saying.
And I think that's so important what you're sharing, because first of all, I know you really said about peace right at the start, peace and purpose, and now you're saying power, and okay, they all might seem to be P words, but the real energy behind them, like, it's not even demonizing drinking, because some people actually they enjoy drinking, and that's okay for them. But I can relate to what you're saying, because I realized I was going through a phase, and I used to do the whole drinking thing and not really enjoy it, but it's because I wanted to go and dance, but I didn't know that. So like what you say, when you really check in with yourself, really check in with your behaviors, why actually are you doing what you're doing? Is it because you're lonely? Is it because you want to go and do something you enjoy and you feel like this is the only process to do it? And I think once which is not an easy thing, like what you say, go back to self, really sit with yourself, which, I'm sorry, is a very hard thing to do.
It is, yeah.
And yeah, it's a very, very I feel like honorable process. So thank you for doing that. And then really think about the behavior, but what actually is it that you are seeking from the behavior? Is it, is it generally you enjoy that drink and you enjoy what you're doing, or is it because you don't want this so noisy and this so revealing so many things to you that you want to suppress it? And that's not an easy thing to do. So I appreciate you really, really mentioning that. So thinking about it on a scale of empowering companies and helping them see their blind spots, because generally these, that's why I can see how you empower personally and professionally. But how do you apply this? Because there's always still something in the background playing, I think, in every decision we're making, whether that's in business or personal. How do you help them really see those blind spots and maybe the reasons behind, like, what they're doing? Are they doing it because they feel like their competition is going to take it, or do they really stand in their value and really understand and believe there's enough abundance for everyone?
Well, in such instances, I kind of help people on their journey to find themselves.
Beautiful.
To know themselves. To kind of, and this is why I normally prefer doing one-on-one sessions. For now, to really get to know someone, how he or she behaves, things, why they behave the way they do, and almost on a point of being like a life coach or a therapist or a counselor.
Yeah.
I'm not certified yet, but I'm heading there.
I feel like with this though, sorry to interrupt you, Kamau, I feel like you are certified. You just need the paper. I feel like this whole, and it's, it's the way it is, we have to play the game, but you are certified. You mastered your own mind. I'm sure you can support someone else. But anyway, we'll wait for the paper.
For now, yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really appreciate that. And I love that you said about the long, because I think again in this fast-paced world, it's like, okay, how can you fix me quickly? First of all, no one needs to be fixed. You're already perfect the way you are. You just maybe have just like what we say, a little bit of noise around you that needs to be quietened.
Background. Yeah, yeah. Very true.
So I understand that, because it isn't a quick, tick and done and fix. And if I'm right in saying, I would love your view on this, it is a process where you keep showing up every day. Every day.
Oh, it is uncomfortable and wow, it's something. Let me say it's something.
Yeah.
Because I think I even mentioned this on one of my posts on LinkedIn, is that you can't be at 100 every day, you know? Some days you are at 120, where you are giving your all and you are all in and all that. Some days you are 70, some days you are 30, and some days you are negative 20.
Yes.
Yeah, where you can barely even get out of bed. But I think what I remind myself and I remind my followers as well is that you cannot quit. You know, you can't quit, but you can't take a break.
Yes.
You can do what you love doing when you are sitting in silence. You know, maybe journaling or meditating, or spending time in the outdoors, in nature, breathing in the fresh air and all that. Or listening to, positive podcasts, nice soothing music, or you can sleep, whatever works for you, because people are different. What might work for me might not work for you.
Yeah.
May also not work for someone else. So this journey of self-reflection, I think it's a daily thing, because you have to keep knowing yourself over and over again. You have to continue studying yourself, to know this works for me, this doesn't, this works for me, this doesn't. So I think if you're able to do that, it kind of keeps you grounded. And of course, another thing also that I also like stressing is knowing your why.
Yes.
Why are you doing this business? Why are you working in this company? Why are you being a mental health advocate? Why are you being a podcast host, for you, for example? Everyone has to know their why. So if your why is strong and powerful, it always pulls you back and always gives you that extra juice and energy to keep going.
Absolutely.
No matter what.
I love that. And just to add on top of that, I would love your take on this.
Okay.
I think we also need to be back to the why, really clear about the words we are using for ourselves. For example, Shel, Marie, empowerment. Okay. Why did I pick empowerment? And it's just really ironic, because regardless of what people say, I believe there's a power in the words that we use. And you know what? Oh, I got put in situations where I had to not only empower myself, but empower the people around me. And did that look pretty? Did that look like, oh, I'm an empowerment coach? No. But that's the word I used, because that is the purpose, the service, the impact that I wanted to create in the world. So,
beautiful.
We can sit there and we can be all love and light and all vibrancy, sitting now, two people having a conversation in our safe little homes and, writing our articles. But we really need to think about what message we're putting out to the world, because we can't stand there and say we are this and then not want to show up as it.
Exactly.
And often,
I love that. Yeah.
And often, like what you said, those, let's not call them tests, let's call them opportunities for growth, will come to say, really, you're an empowerment coach, really? Okay, let's see you empower.
I know. It's so interesting. Yeah, how it sometimes plays out. Yeah? How it tests you. Actually, it tests your limits, so to speak. Yeah.
And even now to this day, even sitting and seeing the abundance and the blessing of all these incredible leaders such as yourself wanting to come on and support my podcast. Trust me, we all have. Nobody's sitting there looking pretty. None of these, even these ones on stages, nobody is. We all at our own level have our own goals, our own tests, if you like to call them. Yeah, because where's the growth if we're not changing? We have to be met with the trials or the challenges at the level we are at. So like what you said, some people actually their test is to get that motivation and get out of bed. That's all they need to do that day, is to say, do you know what? Today, even if I just get out of this bed and I brush my teeth,
my bed.
That's big for them. But once they accomplish that challenge, the next one will come.
Exactly. So it's a continuous gradual process.
Yeah.
I've done task 1, I can do task 2. Can do task 3, so it empowers you to continue.
But I think there's beauty in it, of course, like not during, but when that same pattern or cycle, something comes round again and you see the new version of you and how you respond to it. Wow, now that's the gift, that's the blessing.
I know. Oh yeah. For sure. As in seeing where you have come from, and where you are right now, it's so heartwarming,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, wow, already I feel so empowered and inspired by you.
As you should be.
Amazing. And how can, so with that in mind and people listening, how can they reach out to you? What's the first step they could take to connect with you and receive all this beautiful wisdom and insight that you have to share?
Something as simple as sending me a follow request, a connection request, sending me a DM on LinkedIn or an email. I think I have my email address on my LinkedIn.
Yeah, I will put everything in the description for you.
And also, commenting on my posts, because I normally try to write posts twice or thrice a week. So I normally try to follow the people who comment on my posts.
Absolutely.
To increase, visibility, to increase my followers, and that's how they can reach me.
I think that's also super important. Yeah.
And also, of course.
Sorry. Yeah.
And also, of course, booking one-on-one clarity call on my LinkedIn through Calendly, and also your social with me as well.
Amazing.
So I'm everywhere.
You are, and you're only just getting started. He's everywhere, everyone. Grab him.
I'm everywhere, guys.
Amazing. I'm super excited for you, and
thank you so much.
Even when I see your posts, just so much, like what you said, the real thing I love is it isn't about, it's about how can we both support each other, because somebody always has something else to offer another person. So it's super important, that connection, and I definitely feel that LinkedIn offers that, which we are so blessed to receive, which is how we connected. So thank you. True. So one final thing that I always love my guests to share is just off the top of your head, if there was something that you would think someone listening right now would really benefit from hearing, what would you tell them?
Wow. There's so much I can say. Oh, okay. Let me see. Off the top of my head, just 2 words. Keep going.
Amazing.
Keep going. Whatever you are doing right now, whichever state you are in right now, you are meant to be there. It is for a reason. So just keep going. You're doing better than you think you are, and because it's all a step in the right direction. That mantra of keeping going. Because even me, I didn't just wake up and have 8,000 followers following me. Even me, I just opened my LinkedIn profile, started having 1 follower, 10, 100, 500, 1,000. I just kept showing up for myself. I kept reminding of myself of the why during those difficult and tough, messy times. I kept celebrating my small wins, my big wins, and also celebrating other people. Because I believe that's also very, very important, celebrating yourself and also other people. So in the end, you're creating a community, for yourself and your fellow content creators, supporting one another. When someone is having a bad day, you are there to lift them up. So when you have a bad day, someone is there to lift you up. And you just keep going. And, eventually you'll reach where you need to go, where you need to be. And another thing also is gratitude. Practice gratitude every day. Even if you can't find the words to say a prayer, just tell God thank you. Tell him thank you for waking you up, for being able to think, to walk, to talk, to eat. These small things that people take for granted.
Amazing. And I love going back to sometimes you're 30%, sometimes you're 70%, sometimes you're minus 20, and thinking about that in those moments where you do feel minus 20 or a lower percentage. No one's telling you to have to outsource your energy, or that day receive. And I think that's really beautiful what you just shared about. I think sometimes we create these archetypes or these things of like, I'm the person that goes on and shares and gives to others. No, this is what the beauty I heard in your message is sometimes you need to be the one to receive, and that's okay. So thank you for that. It's been a really beautiful podcast. It was lovely connecting with you. And
Thank you so much,
I'm excited to keep seeing how you evolve and how you expand. And thank you so much for following that inner compass and believing in yourself and allowing it to keep unfolding and celebrating those small wins. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shel, for inviting me and for having me and for listening to my story. And I'm honored, honestly, and I'm blessed. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you.